Hi, my name is Dan Vincent, and I'm a professor of science education at the University of Central Oklahoma. As a parent and as a teacher who's been in the classroom for over 20 years, I realize that some parents might be scared in helping their kids with science. Many of us feel like we're not very good at science. However, science is not just knowing answers. In fact, many would say that having questions is more important than having answers. Curiosity is the key. Science is really about noticing things around us, asking questions about those things, and then trying to make sense of the things that are happening around us. And you can help your own kids with science by using common, everyday things around you. And we call these things phenomenon. It doesn't take explosions, smoke, or other fancy things. It takes talking with your kids about these phenomenon happening around you, inviting your kids to notice and wonder. It's really that easy. Here's how it's done. First of all, look for common events, common phenomenon in which you and your kids can observe. I'll give some examples of this shortly. Second, invite your kids to observe things, to ask questions about those things, then try to explain it first. Don't tell kids what's going on. Be curious about what their ideas are. Also, let kids create their ideas and share them with you or with peers or with other siblings that they've got. As a parent, be a good listener. Try to understand their ideas and don't dismiss their ideas no matter how crazy or off the wall they might be. And then once your kids have shared, you could share your own ideas, being careful not to minimize their ideas. You want to keep them creating ideas in the future. So here's some examples of phenomenon you might want to use with your own kids. Think about an ice cube. If you let it sit out for a while, it begins to melt. Can you and your child speed that process up? Can you slow it down? What are some other solids that turn to liquids? Think about chocolate or butter or wax, plastic, metal, things like that. So again, show the phenomenon and just ask your kids to be curious about this. What do they notice? What do they wonder? What about water on a sidewalk? If you let it sit for a while, it seems to disappear. Where does it go? Can you make it disappear faster? Things like that are phenomenon you can engage with your kids with. What about the amount of liquid when it goes from liquid to solid? Does it stay the same weight? Does it go from 1 pound to 1 pound, or does it get heavier or lighter? What about when it goes from a solid to a liquid? What happens then? What about when you put sugar inside of water and you stir it up and it seems to disappear? Where does that go? Looking at your shadow during the day. If you go outside and you trace your shadow, what do you notice as it goes from morning to noon and then in the afternoon? Does it get smaller, shorter? Is there a pattern to that? For older kids using shadows, you can have them observe their shadow throughout the day also, but also have them use like a ruler. Does that ruler shadow change distance throughout the day? Does it get shorter or smaller? What about in the summertime when you have a cold drink and you notice it sweating on the outside? Where does that water come from? Again, you're inviting your kids to notice and wonder these things. What about at nighttime? You look up at the night sky and you see stars or you see the moon. Does it change from night to night? Is there a pattern to that? So you can also ask your kids to go on a nature walk with you, and then as you walk, just ask them to notice things around them, like things like this tree falling down. What do they notice? What are some things they wonder about? So in short, we want you to encourage your kids to notice things around them. And then you're going to model that curiosity by asking questions. Invite your kids to notice and wonder with you. Doing that will allow your kids to see science all around them and develop one of the most important traits of a scientist, that of curiosity.